Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? I hope you've had a better Wednesday than I have had. Uh, this has been one hell of a roller coaster, to say the least. And I was caught without my safety belt, basically, as I got hurt pretty bad in G period. I did well earlier in the day, got hurt in G period. We'll talk about that trade here in a minute. But let's talk about what the market did. Let's see what the market did today. So initially, the market opens up in A period, right? We open up in A period right above B, B's low, right, from yesterday. Right below the afternoon pullback low, we rejected that price probe initially. So A period opened up right above B's low. Why is B's low important? B's low is important because we have a buy tell here. Pretty where like change took place yesterday, right? We have what is called excess. So this whole area was nothing but bids. There was no selling in this area here, right? So B's low was very important this morning. As in A period, we pulled back to it. I believe right to the tick. Quite literally, we left a tick before taking hit B's low. Then we rotate up, right? This afternoon pullback low means nothing. We rotate back up, get to this wide area where point of control was yesterday. POC, it wasn't anything too significant, wasn't 9 wide or anything, but it was significant enough for A to back down after the initial little bit. Now, in B period, we decided to pop pretty heavy. And we weren't like expecting early in the day to pop A's high. I was kind of expecting, if anything, B to rotate lower and take back some of this buy tail here. Let me get rid of this little snap thing going on. It's getting kind of annoying. And then let's just do one more thing. We want the crosses. Let's do horizontal for now. So we pulled back right. We were expecting in B to like kind of get below the open and then go test previous day's low. And if anything, take out previous day's low and put the daily into a balance. But instead, B rotates up near yesterday's high. And then we have a set of single prints that was created here. Set of single prints right in this area was created in B period. Right? So now we have this set of single prints here. Sorry to cough. But we have this set of single prints here. B's one time framing up. C period opens up. We push up initially, back down, fill some of the single prints, and then bounce back up to take out the previous day's high. Now we continue the one time framing down, or the one time framing up, and guess what? Now C is taking out the IB high. So now buyers at this moment in time, we have bulls have the open. They've taken out the overnight high at this point. They've taken out the IB high, the initial balance high, and they're one time framing up now. We've also held a set of single prints in B period, right? So bulls are getting a lot of things on the checklist, and values kind of overlapping the higher at this point. C period, we close a little bit near the lows. We have a smaller set of single prints, but still a set of single prints that was left in C period now. Right in here. Here, let me try to make that a little bit more clear. Right in this area now, we have a set of single prints in C period. So initially, the market kind of looks like, if you just pay attention to the right hand side of the screen, it looks like this. B's has a set of single prints here at C, right? And then in C period, we have a set of single prints here, right? And then in D, we create another set. So D continues the one time frame up. We create another set here in D period. Let me try. I'm just trying to make this visual for you guys so you understand. So we have another set of single prints here in D period. So we have not one, not two, but we have 3 sets of single prints now. We're one time framing up. D period goes and hits that 12 wide pocket I've been talking about hitting if we continue to upside. So we continue the one time frame up on the daily. E period opens up, pushes higher, right? Another major thing is we're above the 50-day moving average at this point. We got above it by taking out previous day's high, right? So now E period's pushed up, and then we back off initially, and we kind of come into the set of single prints a little, or we come into the set of single prints and then establish where it is for F period, the next period to come in. Then F period comes in, we rotate up near E's high, not quite high enough, and then we rotate down, right? We get into the set of single prints in F period. We don't fill them, right? So in F period, we kind of reduce what the single prints look like. Now the single prints look like this. Every time we pulled into the single prints in F period, we were bouncing initially. And then in G period, we filled that set of single prints. This is where things got dicey. F stopped the one time frame and down. G period started one time, F period stopped the one time frame and up. G period started the one time frame down now. All right. Initially, I'm looking for an afternoon pullback low in G period, which would have been a classic textbook afternoon pullback low. And at this point, the 50-day moving average is right around 38.70, right? So the 50-day moving average is right around 38.71, 38.70. So we're pulling back. I'm kind of expecting us to get into this next set of single print in C period. So the set of single prints from D is gone. So bulls gave that up. Sellers now have one time framing down. We pull on back. We get back into previous day's range, right? And then we fill the set of single prints in B from C period. So we filled D's set of single prints. Now we're filling C period set of single prints. Those are gone. We continue to pull on back, pull on back. At this point, we're below the 50-day moving average and well into previous day's range. As you can see, we dip our toe into the set of single prints from B period, and we initially bounced a few times. So if you look over here on like the 5, you can kind of see all that action happening and occurring here in the 1 minute time frame. So things were changing, right? We got below the 9, we got below the 144. This purple line you see here is the 50-day moving average. We got below that, and we stayed below it the remaining of the day. H period continues the one time frame down and fills the last set of single prints in B period. So now the bulls have at this point lost one time framing up. They've lost all 3 sets of single prints that they had going, and value went from overlapping to higher back to unchanged. All right. Sellers continue to one time frame down. They continue to one time frame down in I period. So things are getting pretty serious at this point. Continue to one time frame down in I period. We get below both RTH, real trading hours, and after hours VWAP in I. We one time frame down. J period stops the one time frame down initially, and then K resumes it, right? So J did nothing, but we're still one time framing down, but we didn't. Had we taken out H's high, it would have stopped it completely, but because we didn't take out H's high, we continue to one time frame down. K period, one time frames down. L, one time frame down. We're headed towards the initial balance low and our low of day. We get below the opening, so now bulls have lost the open at this point. So what started out as a hot day and a trend up for the bulls and buyers turned into an absolute slaughter fest for anybody that did buy, and shorts started to get paid through GHI all the way into L period. Now M was kind of a chop fest, didn't do much. So what happened today was kind of unexpected, but you have to respect what short term, as my mentor Paul says, you gotta respect what short term traders can do, and what they did today was absolutely uh, unexpected. Because I initially started reading the day pretty well. I didn't start trading until I started trading an E period um, with a couple of micros, and it turns out I should have stuck with micros because I ended up losing a hefty amount in G period with the minis. Um, it was an absolutely as is wild day, absolute wild day. Um, so let me go over my trades real quick. So in E period, I initially started taking just a few trades with the micros. I took a short in E period against D's high, and I got stopped out because we popped up pretty good, and I was like, all right, this thing's gonna continue to trend up. We've been one time framing up at that time for a while now, uh, and we had a set of single prints in B, C, and in D that we're holding. So I was like, all right, maybe we go and test the high day up here. Nothing's stopping us, right? We've already hit all these other destinations. Nothing's stopping us besides this psychological level at 3,900, right? We get above that, next destination is 3,925. Well, we didn't want to do that. And on a pullback, I decided to get long with a few micros. And I took it off for a basic flat scratch trade, as I wasn't sure at the time if we were going to go back up towards E's high. So I just set out, waited until F period to see what happened, and then I took a long in F period against the single prints at the time. I got long at 85, and then we bounced up, and I exited at 88 for a nice little trade. Um, so it's a 3 point trade, and then I took another long, got out for another 2 points. I'm up 5 points on the day, which is not bad money. It's like $250. Can't complain. Probably could have called it right there if I wanted to be real conservative. I've had a good week at this point with just Monday and Tuesday. Tack on $250. Walk away, Chris, right? Nope. Ha. I'm looking for an afternoon pullback low, right? So I can pull it up here. I have my trade that that I took, and you can kind of see it go bad here. As you can see, I'm up 5 points on the day. I could do some pretty good things. I could do some pretty good things here. I'll mute that. But you can see what I'm looking for here. Um, let's try to fast forward this 30 seconds. So I'm looking for an afternoon pullback low, right? So you see we got that set of single prints here in D period. We fill that set of single prints. I was initially looking to get long. We keep pushing down. We keep pushing down. And I put a bid in at 79. I got filled at 79. And I'm expecting this thing to kind of bounce back up towards the 144 up here at the on the 1 minute chart. So I'm long. I could have gotten out for a quick point gain, $50 on the trade. But I was looking for a little bit more because I was expecting this to be an area where buyers wanted to step in. Um, we had a high volume node here on the 5 minute TPO, and I was kind of like, all right, things are going to look good. Things are looking good for the Bulls. Let's rotate back up. Well, we continue to kind of chop for a second. We push back down lower. We're chilling. I could still get out for a break-even trade if I want to, but what I'm looking for now is I'm still looking for an afternoon pullback low. Still looking for it, right? And like I said, I could have gotten out several times for a nice profit here. We start pulling back a little bit more. We're pulling back a little bit more. And I could have held on to just the one lot, right? And put my stop at the high day. But instead, my dumbass decided to add at 76. I moved my sell orders down from 83 or from 80 or 83 to 80, and I still have one up at 83. Now I'm expecting us to hold the set of single prints and not get into the previous day's range. Had I been smart, I would have just gotten stopped out when we do this right here. We break into that range, right? So now we've gotten into the previous day's range. I'm down 2 points on the day. I could stop it right there and just get out. Well, I'm gonna save you the story. We continue to pull back in G period. I continue to add. We broke down in H period. I continue to add it against VWAP, and at this point I'm long 5 minis, which is way too much size, and I stop out below VWAP here on my 5 minute chart. I get stopped out for a nice $2,000 loss. Which is not what you want to see on a day like today. You know, buying has been very responsive all day, but clearly something changed, especially once we got into the high day from in the previous day's range. I should have just stopped out for a $2 loss and then looked for something else. You know, at this point things are changing. Let's look for something else, right? And that's pretty much it. I stopped trading in H period when I got stopped out, and just kind of let the day do its thing. Um, and tomorrow we'll come back in. We'll put our hard hat on. We'll trade the micros for a while until I get comfortable and get back up on my feet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's put in our destinations for the day, and then we'll review the daily chart because the weekly is still one time framing up in my opinion. So let's go back to here. All right, so our low day is here at 38.34.25. So now tomorrow if we come in and we take out 38.34.25, then we put the daily back into a balance and it'll be a 3-day balance. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. So low day, I keep pressing P, low day 10.26. So here's our low day. We don't have any Y point of control. I'm going to call J an afternoon rally high. We'll call J an afternoon rally high at 38.65. So tomorrow if we come up to that area, we will look to see if there are any sellers, any supply in that area. Afternoon rally high, 10.26. But like I said, none of this is textbook. Textbook would mean having like a large set of single prints above, and then for like an afternoon pullback low would be having a set of single prints below where the afternoon pullback is. But this is just kind of an area that's visual that may be responsive for a sell. All right, and then we end up with our high day up here at 38.97.50. 38.97.50 is our high day. So tomorrow we'll look to see if there are sellers in that area as well if we get up to it. Now if we get up to it and take it out, then the daily continues to one time frame up. But with the weakness we've seen today, I'm kind of expecting the market to come into a consolidation, especially since tomorrow, it's either tomorrow or Friday, we have Apple earnings coming out, Apple and Amazon. We'll see how those guys do. But right now, like I said, if we take out tomorrow's low, then we put the daily into a 3-day balance. If we take out the high, then we continue to one time frame up towards that other weekly high at 39.25.25. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a pretty wacky day tomorrow. We'll have to see. Let's go over our daily chart here so I can explain that and show you what that might look like. So, like I said, our high here, I have after hours on. Let me get rid of that. Show extended hours, get rid of it. All right. So here's what our daily looks like. Right, this was our previous daily balance high. This was our previous weekly balance high. Daily, we tested the 50-day moving average. We rejected it once yesterday. We rejected it again today. Not finding any acceptance over it. So possibly we are putting in our other lower high. And if that's the case, right? If that's the case, then what the sellers need to start to see now is take out tomorrow's daily low, or tomorrow take out today's low, put the daily into a balance, and then begin one-time framing down at that point. Uh, right? So that's what needs to happen for sellers. For buyers, we need to get over the 50-day moving average, take out today's high, and then continue to move and continue to one-time frame up until we hit that other weekly high at 39, 25, 25. So that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, I know this video is long. I know my videos are long. I like to explain what happened, why it happened, and kind of what I was dealing with. Hopefully tomorrow we'll come in with some stops, and we won't end up with a day kind of like what happened here, where I just get absolutely obliterated. Let's just go ahead and skip you to the end here. Some long too, blah blah blah. I know what said I wasn't gonna show you, but this was an absolutely brutal move down in G period, and it absolutely hurt. So you can see I'm down pretty hefty, 27 points. I'm down 32 points. I'm down 27 points. Yeah, so I should have just stopped out at the previous day's high, but that was not the case. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, had to show you that brutal loss. Have your stops in, guys, if you're trading. If you're new to it, keep those stops going. Other than that, have a wonderful day. I know I've said it 3 times.